5 automotive sins I've committed. If I'm gonna laugh at others, it's only fair I laugh at myself. Don't be ashamed if you too have committed or are still committing any of these sins. This video is more of a commentary / look back at things I've done, not one that supports the elitism. Let's just jump right into the first entry, you'll see what I mean. Rep wheels. So when it comes to wheels, it's pretty well known I don't care much about them. I had rep wheels on my Mustang. They just look like some Pep Boy looking wheels. I don't even remember what mom and pop tire shop I bought them from. I don't even remember the brand they are because I don't have any good photos of me taking away, but they're definitely reps. Like, someone's probably gonna comment exactly what rep they are because they probably do recognize it. And I believe they're replicating like the original wheels that they're trying to look like. It's like a Forge Star F14 or one of HRE's wheels. Past me, I'm not that angry at him because like he barely knew anything about cars, much less wheels. He was that was his first ever performance car, and it was also a transition car. Something I'm going to tell you, these are the two things I want to talk about most, is transition cars and also wheel brands. Even when it comes to rep wheel brands like Koenig has made lots of rep wheels under their brand. They were recently purchased by like an actual real wheel brand. On top of that, they recently started an actual original Flowform lineup. So rep wheel brands can actually become legitimate wheels as time goes on. And even then, there are so many wheel brands, like thousands worldwide. And if you look at the list of reps and the list of real wheels that was made by someone, like someone actually made a spreadsheet for them, there are hundreds upon hundreds of brands. So here's the reality if you drive with rep wheels on like a Civic. Non-car people already struggle with car brands. You really think they know wheel brands too? Non-car people still call my Corvette a Ferrari, for Christ's sake. So do you think non-car people are gonna look at your wheels and be impressed if it's a real wheel or mad at you if it's a rep wheel? The answer is no. And now the next question is, what if I go to a car meet? Now car guys are gonna make fun of me. Most people in person do not know that off the top of their head, even other car guys, because there are so many different freaking brands these days for wheels, especially if you're rolling around town because your spokes are spinning and so is your center cap, so they're not even gonna look at your spoke designer or be able to read the freaking brand on it. Now we'll talk about the second reason why I think it's okay for people to start on rep wheels. So I'm not saying everyone should always be on rep wheels. I'm not saying I support them completely, but if you're starting on rep wheels and people are bullying you, man, it's all right. And here's another good reason why you shouldn't care. If you put them on what I call a transition car, aka a car that you plan on selling soon for a better car, you're just buying it because you want to learn. Like, if you're new to the car enthusiast community, chances are you either A, don't have a car yet, or B, just got a grocery getter. Let's say you're transitioning to an actual performance car. A good example is one of my friends has a Honda Civic used over 200k miles. The car is probably only worth $3,000, and a lot of my other friends crap on him for having reps. His car worth $3,000, right? They keep telling him like all the wheels are suggesting to this poor guy costs like $2,000 to $3,000. Now let's use some logic here. This Civic guy's trying to eventually someday sell Civic for whatever it's worth and just put that towards getting his first performance car, first sports car ever. Do you think it's smart for him to buy wheels that are worth more than the freaking car they're being put on when it's just a transition car? Nah. So you know what my answer is? Let him ride on his reps. Let him ride on his reps, let him sell them to the next guy, and then when he buys his next car, he can buy it real wheels. But for now, there's so many logical reasons why I think it's okay for you to be on reps. The only time I really think you should go out of your way to buy real wheels is when you have a car you're planning on keeping longer and a car that you're planning on driving harder, in which case you do need the structural integrity, you do need the good fitment, that good offset, and you need to treat yourself, all right? You get your dream car, don't cheap out, all right? Do not cheap out and put it on reps on your dream car, which rolls right into the next entry of terrible fitment. Terrible fitment. So I literally modified, that's another entry, which is me being a ricer. We'll get to that later, but I modified everything I could cosmetically on my Corvette, like literally everything. I went full ricer. I actually had to dial it back a little bit because of how ricer went. Yet in spite of that, of all the cosmetic mods I did, the one thing I didn't do was freaking wheels, offset, proper staggering, and proper fitment, and getting rid of this stupid wheel gap that you can build like a 4-story apartment complex with like 3 bedrooms in each. Like, that's how bad my wheel gap was, and I just never addressed it. And my fender tuck from factory was also real bad because I really tucked these wheels in. I always will think flush fenders looks cool as hell. I like it when offset of wheels. Some people like a little bit of poke. I'm not a fan. A little bit of poke I'm alright right. Too much poke? Nah. Too much tuck? Same thing. I don't like too much tuck. Unless you're slamming the car, tucking's fine because I know you guys need to stretch the tires and rub. I know these things now. These were things I didn't know like 6 months ago, but now like I had a lot. This is the one thing I am proud about my elitist friends for wheels is they taught me everything about why people tuck, why people stance, why people camber, and why people stretch tires because I always thought it was a stupid fad. Now I learned it. They try to rub as little as possible. In order to do that, you have to make some compromises. In my case, I wasn't going that low and finally got tires that are taller than stock tires by a whopping 1.8 inches in the rear and about 1.6 in the front, so almost 2 inches basically. And it only gained 0.9 of ride height in the rear and 0.8 ride height in the front. Because remember, that's the diameter I gained was 1.8 inches. So not all of the 1.8 goes towards the ground or towards my fender. It's divided in half for radius. 0.9 goes towards my fender and 0.9 goes towards the ground. My goal is to drop the car back down 0.9 to close down the rest of the gap and be back at stock ride height. And I'm waiting to do that via drop spindles. Since apparently driving on lowered stock bolts, and I did actually lower my stock bolts for a bit, it caused too much squeaking and just didn't feel right for my suspension geometry, so I heard that drop spindles was a better way to lose 1 inch of ride height in the Corvette without affecting its suspension geometry and making it properly drive. So once I reduced my wheel gap and then also bought non-rep wheels, TSW, Crave Spiders, I gave into the Crave Spiders. Like, they've grown on me a bit. I don't like how flat the front spokes are on the front wheels. I guess they're like that for bigger brake clearance. I say that despite my current brake calipers clearing them with like 1.5 inches of space. So the rear, I like the semi-concave. I wish was a little deeper. I've gotten over their looks. I'm just glad they're not reps. I'm glad they're properly rotary forged. They drive so nicely. They felt nice when I took them out of the box. Ooh. What made me super happy though was the offset. So the offset that they gave was flush with my fenders, and I've never actually seen my Corvette with flush fenders, and once I saw that, I was just like, wow, why didn't I do this sooner? Why didn't I get taller tires, then lower my car back down to stock ride height so I have less wheel gap? So it's like, it's all a combination attack, right? That's how Fitment is. It takes time to do, and I now appreciate it. Me though, when I first was just ignoring it, rightfully so, I deserved to be laughed at it because I was just genuinely not caring for it, but now I'm genuinely caring for it. I definitely regret not getting to this sooner, and it's a huge automotive sin that I've even dealt with disgusting, terrible fitment, especially with all the stupid McDonald's looking mods I was doing. Oh my god. And that's gonna be the next entry, Ricer. So a lot of YouTubers like to make fun of Ricers, but I actually was one. I feel like every YouTuber probably also went through a Ricer phase. Theirs wasn't just broadcasted to the world during In order to be a Ricer, you gotta have way too many cosmetic mods, and I was there. I had that, trust me. I went through the phase where I had scissor doors, I had the louvers on all windows, I had rep wheels on my Vet even. Oh my god, I went full blown. What else did I have? Hold on, I had no performance mods in my engine bay either, so it was like, that was something I really did this year. This year I finally got around to doing a lot of performance mods in my engine, and it looks more presentable too. I can actually open my engine bay and be proud of it, because I'm glad I went through a Ricer phase though, because I feel like everyone makes fun of them as a low-hanging fruit. I still kind of poke fun at them sometimes, but I think the term is super overused, because like I said, I'm still called a Ricer now, despite having engine performance mods, and like I said, literally only having one cosmetic mod now, being an easy to remove wrap that does not qualify as Ricer. I will actually stand by that and defend that, because I think some people are overusing the word Ricer too much. I literally have stock tails, don't have louvers, don't have stupid doors, don't have all stock aero, my wheels aren't reps, and my diffuser is a functional carbon fiber one that's just shaped exactly like the OEM one. So my entire car is basically OEM plus, just with a creative wrap that's not Ricer. Ricer has to be tons and tons and tons of cosmetic mods. That's why it literally stands for Racing Inspired Cosmetic Enhancement or Really Immature Car Enthusiast. Even though I want to say I'm not a Ricer anymore, I don't hate them. You know, I think, like with the rep wheel phase, I think people go through a phase, and I'll talk about my psychology for it, was just if I saw an empty spot in my car, I just wanted to put something there. That's what I did with the window. And like, speaking of the window, that'll now roll us into the next entry, which is stupid slap stickers. This is another automotive sin I've committed, and I will go burr. I can't hide this. Everyone knew this happened. If you didn't know what happened, avert your eyes and pretend it didn't happen. I put stupid stickers in my Corvette. The second one I vibed a little bit better. I wouldn't do it again, but I think it was a little bit smart. I put like a bikini girl and put her underneath the louvers so she was more low key and not as easy to see. But when I had just Iowa dangling on my rear window, I don't know how I drove around with a straight face like that for like a month and a half. And I was like the whole stupid quirky of, oh my god guys, look how cultured I am. I may own a Corvette, but I still like anime, haha. Like, there's a way to do that without looking like a cringe lord, and I with the cringe lord. I'm perfectly fine with putting anime on American cars. There was a different way to go about it though, you know. I think what I did back then was very cheesy, and it was definitely an automotive sin for sure, which is putting a giant stupid slap sticker. Finally, onto the last entry, grocery getter Googler. So it's no secret that this is one thing I do show some elitism to and some, I guess, weird hatred towards, which is the internet car guy. Now, I will admit at times I'm too harsh to them, but the best way I can psychologically explain it is we tend to hate the most about what unveils the most about our past. Like, if you see someone who's like the spitting image of a past version of yourself that you really didn't like, it bugs you. The reason I hate grocery getter Googlers or internet car guys a lot is because I was that. In my Nissan Sentra, I was straight up that guy. Because my car wasn't cool enough and because they were a lot more strict there, they would put me in the spectator lot, so I would park separately away from the meat lot. But I would still walk over to the meat lot. And you know that when I walked over to the meat lot, I wanted to fit in. And a lot of it comes off as awkward and accidental too. Kind of like how rep wheels on this video is also accidental. There's a lot of automotive sins I think people commit accidentally. Me at the time did not know that. And I think a lot of internet car guys or grocery getter Googlers at the time don't know how annoying they're being. And I have to curse there. I don't curse much on this channel, but I have to say that because you are really being extremely annoying when you show up at a car meet and the first thing you start talking to them, to their cars, is how you know more about their car because you're being excited. I was like that. Again, I'll talk from my perspective and I would just keep running my mouth. I'd think, oh, well, I heard this brand is actually better. Oh, wait, you have a Borla exhaust. I think a Corsa would have been better here. I tried to act like I could talk the up and up, like I was with them, one of their boys, one of their homies. I tried too hard to fit in immediately by flexing my knowledge because I knew terminologies and brands. One of my favorite tactics that I can recommend to enthusiasts who are new to the car community, who have trouble speaking to people at car meets, ask questions, because you will never look stupid when you ask questions. You will look stupid if you assert statements. If you assert a statement like, nice Pro Charger, bro, when it's not a Pro Charger, now you look dumb. If you assert a statement of, bro, I like your Corsa cold air intake, when it's not a Corsa cold air intake. If you assert a statement of, oh, yo, bro, nice intercooler, when you actually pointed at the radiator, again, you look dumb. So don't assert statements, ask questions. Be like, hey, tell me about your cooling setup. Hey, tell me about the exhaust. It sounds pretty nice. And so on and so forth. People will love to talk to you about their cars. It works 100% of the time because who goes to car meet and doesn't want to talk about the car? So sometimes you make their day because, like I said, some of these people just kind of are waiting for someone to go up to them to talk about their car, and they get to remember they're in an awkward boat too. So you're not the only one in an awkward boat as the new kid with a grocery getter. Even if you've been an internet car guy your entire life and you're going to your first car meet, there are other people there who, even though they have a cooler car than you, they may be in a different boat of social awkwardness as well, where they're like, oh crap, I brought out my built Mustang, but no one's noticing it today. Make their day, ask them about it. We're all gonna make mistakes. Don't be scared to do it. Don't be scared if you've already done them. Just know that there's always a reason why it happened, and there's always something you can learn from it, whether it's rep wheels or being the grocery getter Googler, but shouldn't be ashamed of because you will probably grow out of it, and I encourage you to grow out of it. Other than that though, thanks for watching. Make sure to like this video. Make sure to subscribe if you want more automotive content. Check out my recent videos if you haven't. Very fun videos. Like I said, no one was safe from them, not even myself. I make fun of everyone in those videos. Until then though, see y'all next time. Blade Angel out.